All right, so this video, I think fewer people under 30 need it, more people over 40 need it because of generational cultural thought processes. Um, there is the great resignation and a reevaluation of work-life balance happening amongst people my kids' age and a little bit older. My kids are in their early 20s. Um, and I think a lot of people during the pandemic and the lockdowns spent time with their family and either realized, I really love my family and I want to spend more time with them, or why did I pick you? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, people did do that. I adore my husband. I love spending time with him nonstop. I could be locked in a 1,000 square foot apartment with him for 5 months and not care as long as people brought me food and told me I was pretty. Sorry, that's from a t-shirt. Anyway, this video is about stop working for the wrong people. I was listening to someone talk about resignations, and I was listening to my kids talk about their work philosophy, and I was raised with the belief that be grateful that you have a job, and I agree with that. I don't feel like life owes you anything, but I think it got out of whack because of the major recession that hit in the early 90s that had come only, 15 years before the 70s, where people's finances were absolutely decimated. And the energy crisis and all that. And I feel like people my age were raised with this idea that you do anything to keep your job, you pay any price. And that is a wrong mindset when it comes to working for someone else. So let me talk about stop working for the wrong people. Notice I didn't say stop working. I think the idea that we should be able to stop working and just sit and enjoy life constantly is wrong. And I believe it is very unscriptural. Paradise was Adam working. I believe it's working at things you enjoy with people you enjoy spending your time with, building up and helping others, and loving what you're doing. So if your boss is requiring you to stay over, work 12 and 15-hour days, if your industry requires you to surrender your life first to the company, that is the wrong people to be working for. The right thing to be working for is working at your job to pay your bills and coming home to build your side hustle, build up your business or your future, or it may be building up your family for a time, doing things as a family business. Let's say you really enjoy canning or catering or beadwork, and you come home and you do those crafts and you sell them for a little extra and you put it aside for vacation. That's not being a workaholic. That's developing multiple streams of income, teaching your kids how to do the same thing with you, working together towards a common goal. My husband and I, we were sitting on the porch last night eating dinner because here in Michigan, we have summer for about 2 weeks a year, as you know. Then it's rainy season and cold season. So we enjoy sitting outside as much as we can during the reasonable times of year. And we were out there, and he completed his schooling almost 2 years ago now. It was December of 2020. And that had been a 12-year goal, going from paramedic to getting his nursing degree, master's in nursing, and then this postgraduate certification as an APRN in a specialized field. And he said, you know what? We need to think about what our next goal is. It's currently working on medical missions, but we want to generate a stream of income that will allow us to do that and eventually replace his income with these other multiple streams of passive income. And I've talked about this in other videos. So our side hustle is now taking the surplus that we have after we've paid our bills, putting money into savings for projects, but also putting money into savings. We've already got retirement stuff that we're saving up to, but putting money into savings and deciding what kinds of opportunities we want to watch for, learning about those, and practicing identifying those. That's our side hustle together. He's like, we need to think what our next goal is. So that is not working for the wrong person. That's working for the right person. That's working together with your family, building something. Number two, stop working for debt and start working to invest. That feeds into what I was just talking about. we've got our debts we're paying down. We have very significant student loan debts because of my husband's schooling and because of our girls, the portion that we contributed. We told our girls, and we kept to this, that when they went to school, they could go to school wherever they wanted, study whatever they wanted, and we would cover room and board up to a set dollar amount. And which essentially ended up being about 5 years, a little over 5 years worth, because we knew that that's about how long it would take them to go to school. But we said that is the maximum that we will contribute. You have to come up with the rest. So if you want to go to a super expensive school, you have to figure it out because this is all we're giving you. If you want to go to a super cheap school, this is all we're giving you. They wanted to live on their own, and I encourage that because college is the first steps into adulthood, not the last hurrah of childhood. And so I wanted them, they each were required to live in the dorm for a certain period of time by their school. And as soon as they were done with that, we immediately found them apartments so that they could begin to practice, and they're doing very well. They've made mistakes and they've learned from them, and they're picking themselves up and they're moving forward. So that's really exciting. We are investing in our kids. So we have debt from that because they started college while my husband was in his program. But now we're focusing our income on investing, and we're using the investments to pay those debts. So stop working for the wrong people, working for bad debt, like card kind of debt, like vacation debt. I might have business debt that I acquire, particularly if I'm going into real estate. I'm not paying cash for all the houses, especially the first few that I buy. But focusing on investing rather than debt, that's working for the right people. And third thing, stop working for entertainment and start working for education. And this is a time thing. If you consider how much time you spend doing fun things, I give you a challenge. Limit yourself to no more than 15 minutes per day on any social media platform. Don't tell me it's for your marketing and all that stuff. You can outsource that, like we talked about in the video that I did yesterday, talking about are you scalable? And if it's really for marketing, then you hire somebody to be your marketing person on social media. But you personally, do not spend more than 15 minutes on social media. I don't think you can. And by that, I also mean YouTube influencers. I don't mean looking things up for a specific thing. Like I have certain classes that are on real estate investing that take about an hour or two on the days that I do them. And it's, taking notes, writing things down, working numbers. That is very different from the History Channel stuff that I like to watch about ancient Egypt. That's entertainment. If you limit yourself to only 15 minutes a day of social media in any form, any filters, any posts, anything, and then you only allow yourself an hour in the evening of like television watch, look how much extra time you have for education. Suddenly you will have multiple books read. I used to read a book every 1 to 2 weeks when I had 4 kids under 7, because I would sit down and read during their nap time, or I would read in the evening, or I would get up early to read. You're working for the wrong people. You're earning money for the social media outlets when you are spending all of your time watching those things, instead of investing in yourself by learning and by reading books, meaningful books that will help you to learn and change the way you think and evaluate deals, and reading articles that will help you to expand in an area. I'm a big fan of these because this is not a Kindle. It's not an ebook. It's not something where I'm going to get distracted. I'm not going to use bad posture. I'm going to sit up. I'm going to read it. I'm going to jot some notes. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to go do the next thing. The only exception is listening to audiobooks, which I do. But again, it's an actual title, and I usually listen to them at 1.5 speed so I can get through the books faster. All right. So ask yourself, are you working for the wrong people? Are you working for people who are demanding your entire life revolve around them? Are you working for debt, bad debt, debt that's for stuff that's gone, that's depreciating? Are you working for entertainment and pleasure rather than growth and change? Evaluate it, make your changes, talk about it below. And tomorrow, I am going to talk about the role that luck plays or does not play in our future success. I think you'll be surprised with what I have to say. I'll see you tomorrow. Click the bell so you see it as soon as it goes up. Bye.